What's up, V2 crew? This is Unknown here, and this is going to be another recollection video on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Torna, the Golden Country. And I recently 100%ed it, at least as far as I saw fit. I did not do literally everything, I'll get into that later. I will say though, there will be spoilers at the end because I will be going through my screens of all of the completion things I did do in the game, kind of just going through and recollecting on all that stuff. And there's going to be a lot of them. There is a lot of stuff to do in Xenoblade 2 and Torna, and a lot of screens to go over. So that will be heavily spoiled. I will try to not spoil as much as possible. I won't get into story or anything like that. If you want to watch the beginning and not be too spoiled, I'll try to have footage that is not really that telling of anything past maybe the first couple of chapters of the game. With that being said, I did do pretty much 100%. Like I said, I did not beat everything on the highest difficulty. I did not max out every single blade, max out every single art. I did max out all the skill trees and affinity charts, but I didn't S plus rank everything. I didn't get every single item, all that stuff, because I don't know. At a point that just wasn't fun for me to do anymore. Like I said, you gotta do you. You gotta play how you want, make what you want of the game. If you don't want to complete the game, 100% it, that's fine. Perfectly acceptable. There is no right or wrong way to play a game. It's a game. The right way to play the game is the way that's most fun for you. This is just how I went about it, what I did in the game, maybe some thoughts on how things were to complete, stuff like that. I do like to play without spoilers, as little spoilers as possible. So I try not to use guides if I can. I did look up a few things because the game didn't really explain combat all that well. And then after the game, I got really invested in this game. Let me tell you, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I was looking up different builds and things near the end. Now this is like after I beat the game and like post game stuff too. I kind of liked figuring stuff out initially by myself for the most part. And I did look up some video guides and stuff. Excellent video guides by Anel. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Top notch quality Xenoblade stuff if you're ever looking for things. I will say though, don't look at too much if you're trying not to spoil and you still have bits to play in the game. Also, great guys for Xeno 1. Just amazing Xenoblade YouTuber. 2 was the first Xenoblade I played, and then I went back and I did the Definitive Edition plus Future Connected. I have a video on that if you're curious. And then I went back and played Torna. It took me about 214 hours, 215 hours for the main game, and then another 40 or so to finish Torna. And this was, man, it was a long time since I got lost in a game like this. I guess lost in this and Xenoblade Definitive Edition. So, I mean, total, this was like my last 400 hours of gaming was just Xenoblading. And it's kind of bittersweet getting through these. I know 3 is out now. I think I might hold off on that though until all the DLC and stuff like that gets released, if I can resist, that is. But I like playing games when they're complete and everything's out. Because then when I go back to a game, it's kind of like, I forgot what happened and how to play this. But yeah, this was great. It was like after a rough day of work or whatever, I could come home, turn off all distractions, turn up the volume, just get lost in this game. It really helped with my gaming mindfulness and minimalism, removing distractions and playing a game and enjoying it at the utmost. And I guess I'll make some videos on some of the things I learned in regards to gaming minimalism and gaming mindfulness and trying to make the most out of your gaming experiences. There will be some minor spoilers coming up relating to gameplay systems. For the main game, what I considered complete, I got all the driver and blade affinity charts, including the hidden affinity charts that you had to do New Game Plus for. Unfortunately, you did kind of have to do New Game Plus for that, and also to get some of the blades in the main game. We got all the blades done, all the side quests, all the deeds, all the time trials, the unique monsters, max salvager rank, maxed all the communities, including Indol, all the Merc missions done, all the heart-to-hearts, all the favorite pouch items, and then completing the map with all the locations and landmarks. I still even had a couple that I had to look up because I didn't have all of them near the end of the game. There was still like 3 or 4 I was missing. But so that was the main game. For Torna, maxed out all the arts, all the affinity charts, plus the hidden affinity charts. Crafted all the items. Got the max community level, all the favorite pouch items again, all the slate pieces, and complete map with all locations and landmarks. And as I say, you should play how you want to play. The way I went about it, I first played everything on normal difficulty, both of the main games. And then for the new game plus runs and cleanup and stuff, I did switch to easy mode. That was what I found enjoyable. I think that was kind of the right difficulty for me playing on normal and stuff. I still had to figure out things and think for myself, and even some of the fights on easy mode, not the easiest. Also, I tried to get all the missables, but if I missed one little thing, I was not going to redo everything just for that. There was one side quest because some of the side quests are branching. On the main game, I did do it, but there was an alternate side quest that allowed you to have a Merc mission. And so my last save file is missing that mission, but I did do it on the first go, so good enough. And this was also a big shift for someone that struggled with like OCD and all that to be able to do that. I'm working on that mindset. It makes gaming so much more enjoyable too when you're not stressing out over getting everything, filling out a trophy list, which is kind of nice. This didn't have like a trophy achievement list, but that's another topic for another time. And yeah, I wasn't gonna spend 150 hours redo everything for a digital check mark. Story in this really drove me forward, and then doing all of the other quests, discovered so much more in these games I wouldn't have even seen otherwise. Like, literally half the stuff. Same with Definitive Edition. I just wouldn't have seen, like, tons of stuff, and a lot of the Blade quests were even pretty decent stories with pretty well voiced cutscenes and all. These side quests in this were not just like, okay, yeah, some of them were kind of fetch questy, but some of them actually kind of had some meat to them. And then, like I said before, I did have to do New Game Plus for certain blades and affinity charts, unlike Xeno 1, where you could kind of do most everything in just one playthrough. I do wish the side quests did not reset in New Game Plus. Torna was kind of a bit annoying because you are locked story progression wise. You have to do side quests to unlock the story, which wouldn't be that bad initially, but when you have to redo the same side quests to get New Game Plus to that point, well, yeah. So I didn't quite enjoy that. I wish there was a way they could have tracked better. Maybe the ones that you did do, especially in the main game, because it doesn't. It's not even tied to. Well, I guess it is tied to community level. Community level in Torna also, I guess, wasn't that bad because some of the characters to get community you could just talk to, and you didn't actually have to do side quests for. So that did kind of help. And then affinity charts, they were almost like a mini achievement system in itself. However, they did improve your character and stuff like that, so they were kind of worth doing. It felt more rewarding than just getting a check mark, I guess you could say. And in the main game, you actually didn't have to do most of them because you could send off on Merc missions and get a lot of the nodes filled in that way. But there were some like unique monsters and blade quests and stuff that you did have to do. So that was cool. That was kind of fun. Ursula's chart though. Ursula's chart. Oh man. I don't even know if I need to say anything about that. For you, those of you that have played it, you had to send her on Merc missions like every 6 minutes for like hours on end. It was yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about that later when I talk about Merc missions, but alright, that's enough said about Ursula. There was that gotcha system in the game for getting the blades in the main game, and I think a lot of people was kind of like torn on it. I think for the most part, people didn't really enjoy it all that much. I didn't mind it really though, but I was kind of lucky on pulling the rarest blade pretty early on, and I didn't really have to grind for tons of core crystals in the end, as I kind of just had a lot of legendaries finishing everything else. I never had to grind specifically for cores to get blades, I guess maybe I should say. Also, very few missables, which was also really nice. So you didn't have to play worrying about missing things if that's what you wanted to do, is try to get as much as possible, try to get everything. Definitive Edition had a lot of missables, so it was a lot better than that. In that regard, surprised how much platforming there was. Honestly, and there's a lot of places they would just hide a chest in like a really obscure place, and I was surprised when I first started the game, being my first Xenoblade, how much platforming I had to do. And I was like jokingly calling it during streams and stuff, my favorite 3D platformer. Had a very addicting gameplay loop, I will say. You got upgrading, unlocking, progressing in one system, kind of barred in some other systems or abilities until you unlocked further in one area. And then getting things like the deeds and the items that would just let you straight up run faster and stuff like that would make your gameplay just easier. Picking up item drops from a little bit further away, and just like really minor things that you didn't need to do, but it made quality of life and stuff kind of better. In regards to the deeds, I did think the Torna system was a little bit better and made a little bit more sense because you were crafting the items as opposed to buying everything in a store and then the deed became available and then you bought the deed. I kind of liked the cleverness and creativity behind that concept. And I actually kind of liked it, but the crafting system kind of makes a little bit more sense in my mind. Then there was the map. The quest marker on this map, not the greatest. It was better in Xenoblade Definitive Edition, where it would like have a dotted line to kind of tell you where you're going. Because this one, it would show on the bar on the top the direction, but a lot of times it'd be this really roundabout pathway that you had to get that you just wouldn't know from there. So there was actually times I had to look up how to get to certain areas because I was just so lost. And I never would have found out. I never would have thought to go half a mile behind me to loop under the map to go above the map to get there. Torna, a lot better in this regard though. I think because the areas were not as big and there wasn't really any roundabout ways that you had to go. And I think a lot of it had to do maybe with map size, or they just learned their lesson to not put things in really obscure places like that. Unique monsters. Let's talk about them for a bit. I really liked trying to hunt out all the unique monsters. However, I did not like that some of them needed certain weather conditions, and they'd be like some rainstorm or something that I had to trigger. And I didn't really like trying to manipulate time to get that. And same with the cloud sea levels. I did not like the fact that certain areas were just barred from you at certain cloud sea levels, and then having to go and try to manipulate that to be able to get into that area. Torna did not have that issue because the only unique monsters you needed weather condition wise was, well, no weather conditions. It was just a time. It was just some of them night, and that was it. And that's much easier to to achieve other than some crazy rainstorm or something. Then there was the field skills. I think the system was kind of clever and I liked it in Torna, but in the main game, I did not like that fact that I had to go out of my way to set up blades that added up to certain field skills and then unequip the blades to get my desired party back. And like I said, the progression systems of having to level up in one area to get progress in another, kind of seen here, where you had to level up their abilities in those areas. That I liked, and that was done very well in Torna because you didn't have to switch blades. But the fact that you had to load up blades to get to like level 9 field skills on certain things, and then they would reset and you'd have to redo that area again if you wanted to get back into certain like high altitude or something like that. And then the Merc missions. I kind of actually liked sending things off on Merc missions, but I did not like the fact that there were certain times where it did feel like this really broke up gameplay. And maybe this was because I was sending Ursula's group off every 6 minutes. That probably did come into play. Probably did play a big factor. But yeah, it was just kind of getting tedious breaking up the gameplay and stuff. It was fine when the Merc missions would be like half-hour long affairs, sending out the crew to do stuff, and then leveling up the Merc crew, being able to send more crews out. That felt pretty good. Just having them come back with items for me, but got a little much breaking up the gameplay at times. Anyways, has anyone else played Torna? Played 2? Played any Xenoblades? What'd you guys think? What'd you guys think of this stuff? How'd you go about playing it? Anyone 100% it? 100% on your terms? What did you consider 100%ing? I'd like to know. I'd be curious in the comments if you would want to post that there. And then, okay, so that is the little wrap up. And with that being said, let's go look at these 100% screens. Let's reminisce on the game. Maybe that's nostalgic for you. I had some people in the other video saying it looked nostalgic going through all these screens. There's going to be a lot of them. So this is your warning. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Turn away now if you don't want massive spoilers. Alright, so here we are in the main game, and we are going to go look through some screens, reminisce a little bit. Let's start off with the maps, because that is going to be a thing to see. Gonna take a while. There's not really too much a way to prove I got every single location, and I'm not gonna go through every single little bit here, every single little location, landmark, or hover over all of them. I was looking at a website that had a list of all the locations, so if they were missing something, I'm missing it too, potentially. But all my stuff did line up with them, so odds are I have all of it. But if not, no big deal. We enjoyed ourselves. There was actually like 2 or 3 locations, even doing all the side quests and everything, I did not have when I went to go look for them. And a couple of them, I think I was probably just a couple feet away from unlocking it, but I missed it. And then there was a few that were a little more hidden that actually didn't access that room, so surprising. But yeah, there's a lot of them, and this game is massive. And I hear 3 is even massiver. Yes, I'm sure that is a word. Even more massive is probably grammatically more correct, but meh. We can make up words every now and then, right? Urban Dictionary it. But yeah, going back through these screens is just like nostalgia trip, even though it's only been 2 months since I played this. It's gonna be a nostalgia trip, looking through all the blades as well. Does anyone ever just go into games? I guess I can't show you Indolin, but you'll have to trust me that I did everything in there. I actually maxed out the community level of that too, even knowing that it's gonna go away. I did all the Merc missions and stuff and maxed that guy out. Man, just like it just like takes me back going through this. Takes me back through the game. Like speeding it through my mind. I did play it twice because I'd have to play New Game Plus as well. The Crucible. Mortha. Yeah, the atmosphere in certain places, like, especially when I first went to Mortha, like, the atmosphere just hit me. It was like, ooh, wow. But there was a very diverse environments in here. I mean, I liked a lot of them. I mean, if you saw just me running around in the first part of the game, I mean, like, initially when I started off, I was like, whoa, when I got into Gourmet. It was like this opening a Breath of the Wild moment. I guess that's the term for it now. When you open up into a giant, vast area like that in the game. Alright, so that is that stuff. Let's go look through the blades here. Alright, we'll look at the characters. We'll look at the affinity charts. So, these are the overt, as they call it, affinity charts. And these are the hidden ones. Hidden ones had a lot more SP that you needed to unlock it with. And I don't know if I got every single item. Pouch items. I don't think I'm gonna go through every single Blades pouch item. That is gonna make this game, or this video, take ridiculously long. So I'd have to unequip all the blades, re-equip all the blades. Go into the pouches. You're just gonna have to trust me on that one. But I did max out all their pouches. We got the double pouches as well. Alright, let's look at the blades themselves. Let's look at all these affinity charts. And like I was saying before, these affinity charts I found kind of fun to do. They're kind of little achievement lists. And then, at a certain point, when you have very, very similar things you're trying to do with them, just send them off on merc missions. And that was actually kind of nice, where I didn't have to do every single chart, because the merc missions would cover most of it. Like, do a certain amount of chain attacks and stuff like that. You couldn't merc mission everything, such as the unique monsters, and the heart-to-hearts, and the blade quests. Couldn't do those. And I think there might have been a couple other nodes that you had to do manually, but for the most part, oh, like the craft, I can't remember if you had to do the crafting ones. It's been like 2 whole months since I played this, right? Yeah, going back and looking at these blades, they're pretty fleshed out side quests and things. Stuff like also that you wouldn't expect. Like, so-and-so is a master chef. And then some of these crafting ones I remember now too. I didn't really expect that on the early charts, that there would be so many blades related to crafting their items. Or like random stuff, very, very blade specific. It's just like money. I think there was a blade you had to like donate 1 million. Which isn't that bad near the end of the game. I remember Newt being one of the last blades I got. And like I said, with the gacha system, yeah, Shiba, you had to donate a ton of money with her. Vest, you had to make dumplings. That actually kind of took a while, from what I remember. But yeah, with the gacha system, I got Cosmos, like, pretty early on. And it was just from a rare core crystal, too. I remember I was streaming doing it. It was like a good stream moment there. I think that's like one that a lot of people have the most trouble with. I mean, it's the rarest one, but... And then some of the DLC, or the New Game Plus blades... I remember Akko's took a while. It was one of the last ones I got. Oh, we're gonna have to go show Nia too, switch her into blade form. I found that kind of annoying, switching her back and forth, because I would always forget how to switch her back. So I think I showed everything first. Switching her to the blade I know how to do. It's switching her back in some really weird roundabout way. Oh, I remember Dagas. I did his affinity chart, and then you do his blade quest, and the whole thing, like, resets. And I gotta do the whole thing again. Yeah, I can say spoiler stuff now, because if you're watching this video right now and seeing, like, Shulk and things, yeah, you're pretty spoiled right now. I did warn you guys, though, so... I don't know, maybe you don't care, you just want to hear my strange, childlike voice. Oh, did I? Was that the last row? I think so. Yeah, that was the last row. I'm not gonna go through all these blades. I didn't max out every single uncommon blade, I guess. Alright, we'll look at the Merc groups next. Yeah, we did all these. Like I said, there was one missable one because you had the option, you had two options of doing one of the quests, and it was a story quest as well. And one of them you did a Merc mission to complete, and the other one you didn't. And during the main game, I did the Merc mission, so good enough. But it is not listed on these charts. So those are those. Here's the quest log. Some of these also missable, because you had to do them before certain quests expired. And a lot less than in Xenoblade Definitive Edition, but these are a lot meatier. The Blade quests especially, and then even some of the side quests and things. There wasn't really any quests that you would just kind of naturally finish. Like, the thing in Xenoblade Definitive Edition, you would just naturally finish some, and you wouldn't even have to go hand it in. So, and then here's the unique monster list. Again, I did clean up on easy, so I didn't go back and defeat every single unique monster on normal. I did do some of them in my initial playthrough, and then I went back again and I did do them on easy, so this list is full. Is complete, but I also you had to beat a lot of unique monsters multiple times for affinity chart purposes. Alright, so that is that. Let us go to the ruins. We'll go look at the challenges real quick.
We've arrived. Okay, let's make a start.
The Land of Challenge. Yeah, so these are all the challenges done. Remember the one where you were in the pit of poison? Oh man, that one was... Oh, that one was something else. Even on easy mode, that was kind of hard. And then I did grind out Nopon stones and get all of the items in here. So I don't know, I guess I found that fun. So... and then, what else? Oh, the deeds. I don't know if there's a good way to show that I got all the deeds. I think I got all of the key items. I think. Oh, these stamps. Oh man, the stamps. That Ursula quest. Ay ay ay. Ay ay ay. Where's this? I'm trying to look for the Salvager rank cert. Yeah, we got our certs there. So, alright, I think that is it for the main game. Like I said, I'm not going to go through every pouch item because that'll make this video take like an hour. So, alright, let's go a flip over to Torna. Alright, splicing this a little bit in here because I forgot to show Nia. I always forget how to switch her into the blade and back. To blade form. Alright, there we go. Now we can look at Nia. Alright, there we go. Alright, and here we are with Torna. So let's go through this one. It will be a lot shorter than the main game here. So first, let's look at I did max out all the arts on this one. Not nearly as many to max out. So we'll go through that really quick. Yeah, actually, I mean, I didn't have to grind this at all. I got this while I was grinding for the SP. And here are the affinity charts for the blades. Then we shall go to the characters for their affinity charts. And we got the hidden ones, so we needed to do New Game +4. And I'll show all the pouch items on this one because there's not nearly as many to go through. And what else do we gotta show? Oh, the community level. Oh, here's the quests. We did all the quests as well. Again, not nearly as many. I did have to repeat a lot of them because of the second playthrough and it resetting, but... And then there's the max community. And then we'll look at the maps really quickly. Here's Torna. And I did do all of the golden monsters as well. All the unique monsters, golden monsters. They leave little tombstones on the map in this game, which is kind of nicer. I mean, I guess there were so many in the main game too, though. That would really clutter up the maps. And again, I'm not going to scroll over every single landmark. And Gormott. Oh, and level 99. I forgot, when I was showing these before, people were not level 99. But, we can do that. I was leveling them down so that I could,
I can still improve. I have to
grind out the SP faster.
The future is within our grasp.
SP and the weapon arts too. So there we go.
I've gained a little skill.
Now we put them all at level 99. And then we will go quickly into the crafting here. You do have to craft all the items to get the Blades affinity charts, like all their items.
Let me see.
But as far as the drivers, you don't have to craft all of them. But I did anyway. I mean, it's really nice crafting Hugos and Adams because, well, they give you good things like increasing your run speed and stuff. So. Alright, well, that is going to cap off Xenoblade 2 for me. Oh man, look at Jin spazzing out there. He's so excited. He's like, we did it. Shaking. Kind of bittersweet, like I was saying before. I don't even know now if I start another game. It's like, if I play another game after this, I've enjoyed this so much. I feel like it's gonna be tainted. I'm thinking of starting Ni no Kuni next, and I feel like, as great of a game as that sounds, I don't know if we can live up to this. And then 3, maybe even better? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how many people ever have that feeling where they just finish a game and like cap it all off, and then you almost don't want to play anything else right away. Well, so with that being said, I'm gonna call it a wrap on this video. I am thinking of making this a series if people would be interested in that, like a game recollection series. Let me know in the comments below if you would be interested in that. Maybe I'll do like Ni no Kuni next, or if I start it and I don't really enjoy 100%ing it, then I might say meh on that one. But if it's Recollection too, I guess I don't have to 100% the games. But I do like doing that for games I enjoy.
My lead.
So, with that being said, everybody, have a good night, a good morning, enjoy your games, thanks so much for watching. Spread that positivity, game on your own terms, you do you, and be your V2.